In this demonstration, you'll learn how to create auto labeling policies with Microsoft Purview Information Protection. Hello, I am Theo Rodriguez. Here you will learn how information protection can help you automatically classify sensitive information across your organization, enforce protection settings, and prevent data loss. This is the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal, where we are logged in as a compliance administrator. As a reminder, this is the old portal, which is found at compliance.microsoft.com. The new portal is found at purview.microsoft.com. So we're going to scroll down and we are going to open information protection. And then we're going to click on auto labeling. With auto labeling policies, you can automatically apply sensitivity labels to email messages, OneDrive files, and SharePoint files that contain sensitive information type, and other places. But basically talking about M365, there's a way to also auto apply labels to files on premises. So we are going to create an auto labeling policies for the research and development content that we have been working with. This is the third video, the third demonstration in this series. So if you want to follow up, go back and watch my previous two demonstration to understand how this all worked together. Now, if you are familiar with Purview, then you're fine. But if you are new to and you want to learn more how this all work together, how to put it together, then start from uh, the video one in this data security series. We're going to click on auto labeling policy. And so to classify information, you can use a predefined policy template or create a custom policy template from scratch. There are several categories of templates, including finance, health, privacy, and even enhanced templates. Let's review one of those. If we click on this enhanced templates, we see here a whole bunch of um, template like the U.S. Graham Bliley Act or GLBA, which is a regulation. We have the U.S. Health Insurance Act or HIPAA for that is used for the health industry. We have the General Data Protection Regulation or GDPR, which is used in the in Europe. And so let's click in this one, this GDPR. Again, this all you have the U.S. Patriot Act enhanced and a whole bunch of others. But if we click on this, here we see a description of what this is it, and then here you see all the information that is protected, right? So that's basically what that is. If we click on financial, we see a lot of financial related templates. And if we click on the US financial data, then this is what it will be protected if you choose that template, right? Credit card numbers, bank account numbers, and the routing numbers. If you click on medical and health, again, you'll see back we talked about this HIPAA one. There's all the related to the health industry. And if we click on this, then this is all the information that is protected by that. If we click on privacy, again, a lot of templates related to privacy. Here is the Canada Personal Identifiable Information, PII. And if you click on that, then this is what you get. If you click on custom policy, then you can create your own custom policy, and that's what we are going to do. You need to give it a name. We're going to call this the Research and Development Auto Labeling Policy. The description is optional, but again, as always, it's highly recommended. It is best practice to give a descriptive description. Okay, next. And next, we're going to choose admin units. Again, we talked about this before, so make sure you follow all this because this video if you are new to this solutions. But we're not going to choose any admin units. I already explained what an admin unit was in a previous video. Um, Next, we're going to choose the location where we want the policy to apply the label. In this case, so we can apply to Exchange, SharePoint sites in OneDrive, and we can apply to either all emails, all sites, all accounts, or we can choose a specific. And we can also exclude. We can say apply to all, but exclude this user or this group. Apply to all sites, but exclude this site, and so forth. So we're going to click on choose sites, and we are going to choose the Project Obsidian site. Because remember, we are working with sensitive data in this case. We're not working with everything. I'm not concerned about the entire SharePoint, whatever. We're working with a specific project, and the project is at this specific site. So I'm going to click on Done. Notice how the site is selected. Again, very important that you are careful over here when you apply this label. So remember, before we published the label to users so that users see the labels when they create documents, let's say Word, Excel, Power BI, email, and that stuff. So that's what we did before. Now, in our labeling here, we are going to apply to the sites, to the locations, to the containers, not to the people per se, in a way. So we're going to apply to all. Click on Next, and you can set up common advanced rules. We're not going to worry about that for now. So click on Next. Now let's define, we're going to define a rule to automatically apply labels to content in the location that we specified, which was that SharePoint site in this case. I'm going to give it a name. We're going to call this the Research and Development Auto Labeling Rule. And then we're going to add conditions. Here, notice that the conditions do several things. I could say content contains, content is shared, like let's say that we want to protect the stuff that is shared externally. Attachment or file extension is, so you can or label based on extensions. Attachment or document name contains words or phrases. Attachment or document property is, we could do that as well. Attachment or document size equal or is greater than. So say that you want to look at, get rid of, a whole bunch of documents that are big, that kind of stuff. But in this case, we are going to choose content contains. And we're going to add another condition. And the condition is that content contain info types. We could also choose trainable classifiers. Now, we have not discussed trainable classifiers yet. That's coming in a next demonstration. So for now, we're going to go with the sensitive info types. And we are going to search for our research and development sensitive info type that we created in a previous demonstration. I'm going to click on Next. Again, the confidence levels is going to be medium. You can choose either or. All of these or this. And if we scroll down, we are going to add a condition. So remember, we need to choose the conditions. We're going to add another condition here, and the condition is that the attachment or file detection is. So if you want to do that, you can choose that, and then you can enter that. That's how you would do it. But again, we're not doing that here. So we're just basically saying sensitive info type. But the whole point is that you can add more than one condition. You can make this really complex and complicated adding conditions. You got to be careful how complex you want to deep it. Again, you can do all that. We're going to click on Save to add those conditions. And we're going to click on Next. And then now we're going to choose a label to auto apply. So we're going to choose that label. And the label that we are going to apply is this highly confidential label that we created before. So there it is. I'm going to click on next. Now, you can opt to configure additional settings for email. We'll skip it for now, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can do here. We can say automatically replace existing labels that have the same or lower priority. So, if this box is selected, this label will replace existing labels if their priority is the same or lower than this one, regardless of whether the existing label was applied automatically or manually. That's one option. The other option is apply encryption to email received from outside your organization. So, in this case, the label that you selected has encryption settings. When it's applied to message received from outside organizations, encryption will be applied when you designate a rights management owner from your organization. So this ensures that someone has permissions to remove the encryption if needed. Again, advanced settings there. We're not dealing with this for now. So we're going to click on next. Here you need to decide if you want to test out the policy now or later. We'll run the policy in simulation mode for now. And this is the best practice. Uh, even if, unless you are an expert and you know what you're doing, you have done this number of times. When you are starting, it is always best to run this policy in simulation mode to see what's going to do. And then from there, you go in and you implement it. Or you could also, another option is to, okay, run in simulation mode for a week, and then you investigate, see what's doing, and then automatically you turn it on. And then during that week, if something does not go the way you want, you can come in and uncheck that box. But anyway, so that's another option. Or you can leave it off and, or turn it off later on if something is not working as expected. I'm going to click on next. I can review and finish, and then create this um, auto labeling policy. So your auto labeling policy was created. Let's click on done, and here it is. So we are in auto labeling policy. That's the only one that we have. If I click on it, and let's click on. So here you'll see, that it's simulation overview, blah blah blah. But if we click on, let's say, refresh, um, it will tell you that uh, what it has found. So this is you're testing this policy, right? Again, here you have details on what you did, but it found several things. This is the simulation overview again. You can either turn on the policy, restart a simulation, you can edit, or you can delete the policy. Let's click on items to review. That means items that were discovered, that were found by this auto labeling policy. And so here are those items. Let's click on this link, okay? And here we see that this document matches that policy there. Click on close. Let's open the document, and then we are going to expand as before, and we could look into it. But if we go to the contextual summary, we'll see, and then that document contain the words key project Obsidian and Obsidian, which were the keywords that we use when we creating the sensitive info types. Again, if you have not been following this series of video, you may not understand what I'm talking about. So I highly recommend that you go back and watch my previous videos on this series of data security. If you go to metadata, you see more information about this document as well. I'm going to click on close. So everything is good. This auto labeling policy is doing what it has been created for, the intent, what it has been intended for. So I am going to turn on the policy. I'm going to confirm this. It'll take a little bit, and the policy has been published now. Okay. So the auto labeling policy has been published. Let's close the pane and navigate to the Microsoft Teams to see it in action. Remember that we applied this to um, uh, some specific site, right? So let's go into Teams, okay? This this is the team that has been created for Project Obsidian. And notice what's happening over here, right? Um, so basically, because it found those documents, remember before we created the policy, but there was no auto labeling. It was manual. People had to come in, open the document, and apply the policy manually. Well, now we created this auto label policy to apply to the container, to the SharePoint site in this case, where the documents are. So all of these documents are within that SharePoint site called Project Obsidian, and then so that's what it did. So now let's review how auto labeling works in SharePoint sites. So we're gonna open the library in SharePoint site. So if you click on three dots, it's open in SharePoint rather than in Teams. And so this is the library that we are using auto labeling. We are going to upload a document here, all of these documents, okay? And so notice how automatically when you upload files to that library, the library that we chose before the site, then if those documents contain sensitive information, the information that we are trying to protect, then it will be automatically auto-labeled. So we're clicking this one, and again, if we click on sensitivity labels, and we go to this, because that one probably is not part of it, you know. So we can come in and this is where, remember that we said that you can change the labels, and if we wanted to, people can do that. So maybe this document doesn't apply, we can say previous labels no longer applies, and then we can change the label. We can do that as well. We talked about that. If we click on this app launcher icon, and let's see what happens now. Look, so again, same thing, you know, with documents. This email contains sensitive information from an external user, so the policy automatically applied the label. Um, let's return back into this auto labeling, and then now we can see here files that have been auto labeled, and that's all. Okay, this is the how to work with auto label and information protection in Microsoft Purview. Thanks for watching. As always, please remember to like this if you like this content, obviously. But more importantly, please subscribe to my channel. I will be constantly adding, site content to the site. I noticed that a lot of people come to my site and they watch these videos, but they don't subscribe. It means a lot to me. So this will help me continue providing this free content. So thank you and hope to see you in the next video.